folks, Steve here. Hope you're having a good weekend. I wanted to do a quick little video here because the GMT July update newsletter, what have you, came out, and I really quickly wanted to get a couple of comments out there and a sort of a request for help that is partially fueled by interest that, it's just general interest, but is a little bit selfish. So we'll get into that. So monthly update for July. GMT includes a lot of good stuff as usual. Really interesting that Frank Chadwick's ETO series is getting picked up from VPG, Victory Point Games, because Victory Point Games is just going far and away from the wargame sphere, it sounds like, and so GMT's picking it up, and you can actually go order it for a reduced price, basically on sale, the remaining inventory of the game. I went ahead and got in on it, though I'm playing the Dark Valley, and Thunder in the East is basically in the same wheelhouse, right, East Front, but this is part of a larger system that will eventually cover all sorts of bits of the European theater of World War II. So, good news that GMT is going to do it. How well other GMT-produced games in this series will match the components of the first volume and how it all integrates, who knows, right? But that's not why I'm making this video. Just interesting stuff. But what I wanted to call attention to is, along with the announcements of a variety of new things, new P500 items, existing things, what concerned me was there was a call out for P500 removals, and what concerned me was that one of the games that I would really like to play and have published is on this sort of like kill list of we are looking at the games less than 500 orders that have been on the list for a year or more. The following games fit that criteria, blah, 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 blah. And of course, what's on here is 1918-1919 Storm in the West. So this is a Ted Racer game, and I apparently just happen to own a bunch of Ted Racer games, and I like them well enough and would like to see this game published. It is a game that was originally some sort of magazine game, but there are some updates that were going to be made for this like combined reprint. And if you know me and my channel, you may have picked up on the fact that I like World War I stuff, and I'm always happy to have a new World War I game. And this actually was looking to be a pretty cool game because I had never played the XTR sort of like magazine version or whatever it was. And right now, so if I read this, it's at 344. So if we were to get, if this game was going to get 156, I guess, 156 more orders, it would pass the threshold, 156. And so, why am I interested in this game? Well, okay, it's a World War I game. Ted Racer designed, was in Command Magazine, is basically covering the final stages of World War I in the West. And so, while a lot of World War I games do like the 1914 stuff, right? Like the first bits of the Western Front before it gets too bogged down in the trench warfare. Like there are a lot of games on that from an operational level. There's not a whole lot, at least that I am able to buy and enjoy, operational games that cover this sort of late 1918 and then the potential 1919, a historical scenario or hypothetical scenario stuff. We just don't really get much in that, or you're playing a game that covers the whole breadth of the war, and I don't know, it's just a different level of detail here. But this 1919 Storm in the West was going to be, or is going to be, hopefully, a cool game that fits into that. So 8 miles to the hex includes forts, allied trenches, German secondary, primary trenches, forts, forests, blah, blah, blah. The map is back printed with a separate version. So the 1918-1919 campaigns are going to have different maps. So to me, I'm all about it. Let me get this game. And I've had this on my P500 for a while. Like I signed up for it like as soon as it was published in the GMT update. I signed on for it, and so I've been eagerly awaiting this for quite some time. And part of the reason why I would really like to have this is it would be fun to sort of play a, I don't know what you would call it, like a Ted Racer operational sequence game, because I already own the 1914 Glory's End and When Eagles Fight combo game, right? 2 games in one, World War One dual pack. And what's really kind of interesting about this game was that, and it must be, I hope it's still in stock for people because it's pretty neat. Like, if you wanted to play the European theater of World War One, but you didn't want to play a full strategic game, you wanted to keep it to the operational level, what you could do is, and I'm sure I'm not going to be, okay, here's the map. So you could play 1914 Glory's End, so this is 1914 on the Western Front, and you could fight that through, and assuming the Central Powers don't knock France out of the war via taking Paris or however you want to figure that, then you're going to play through the rest of the East Front, right? Because now it's going to be a little more stalemated warfare on the Western Front, so the focus then would go to the Eastern Front, and then you play out the Eastern Front at almost strategic level. It's sort of strategic level, but not quite grand operational. I don't know. Operational level, high level operational East Front theater game, right? That lasts until the sort of 1917 time period. And if Russia beats the Central Powers, hey, that's probably the end of World War One, right? But if the historical situation happens and Russia gets knocked out of the war, well, then you need some sort of capstone, right? So like you could play these games as sort of a abbreviated World War One experience, and you need that capstone for, assuming everything goes historical, the Germans don't knock France out of the war, they do knock Russia out of the war after playing When Eagles Fight, then you could come in and play this and then decide, are we going to get anything ahistorical? So like right now, the regular price for this game would have been $50. P500 is $30. That's actually very, very cheap, all things considered, for a war game. This is weird for me because I've never really done this, and I probably won't do it very often in the future. But how about this, guys? I have somewhere over 300 subscribers, plus the random people who watch but don't subscribe, but might check in on the channel from time to time. If half the people who are subscribed to my channel went in on the P500 for this, let's say within the this week of watching this video, whatever, we would save this game. We would save it from being taken off the list. The warning here is we may remove one or more of these over the coming months if we don't see a significant uptick in orders. So I think this would be a very cool game for the community to have, but in my self-interest, I really want to play this game, guys. I really do. I would love to play it, and I'd love to play it alongside Glory's End and When Eagles Fight, maybe even on the channel, right? We could do a whole series playing through all these games. But we've got to get it above, 500 orders for it to pass the P500 threshold. And it's more than halfway there, right? Like it is significantly past the halfway point, and we just need to get it over the edge. So I don't want this to be like a, hey, I want everyone to just go do this, but I want to put attention on this because I think, sure, some of these other games are probably totally worth saving as well. This one's just a particular interest to me because of World War One, and we need more World War One games in general. It's a fascinating topic and time period, and it needs all the love that it can get. And Ted Racer, has made a lot of World War One games. He made Paths of Glory, so there's some good attention and some good expertise trying to be applied to these games. So again, if you're watching this, if you like my videos, you like World War One stuff, if you like war games in general, GMT always does a pretty good job. I think it would be great to have this game come out and be published by GMT. And so, again, if this interests you, I'm putting the call out here, guys. Let's do this. Let's get this thing above that threshold. Let's get some orders put in. $30. That's cheap for a war game, all things considered. Let's get this over the hump and get this game out of the danger zone and into the to be published list. That's what I want. That's why I'm calling out this game today. I don't have a lot of free time today, but I wanted to hop on and just call attention to it. Let's save this game. Gosh darn it. I want to play 1918, 1919 Storm in the West. I would love to do some coverage of it on the channel. I know I've got a lot of games between then and now, but of course, assuming it gets over the threshold, it could still be a while before the game gets published. They got to do the whole finishing development and do the components and the graphics and blah 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 blah. So we got a little bit of time, but GMT has given us the warning that we could lose it. So let's not do that. Let's get this game. We're close. Let's do it, please. We'll see what we can do. And if we succeed, I think that would be very cool. If I made this video, I'm trying to call attention to it. All the other people who don't watch this channel who saw this call out, hopefully have a similar attitude, and our combined, efforts can save the game. What you do here, watching this video, and the awareness, and what other people who don't happen to watch this channel see it, it would be very cool. Let's do it. Let's get to 500 orders on this guy. I have my order in. I can't justify ordering more than one copy. I don't know if that increases the number. I assume it does, but I'm not sure. But this is all about the crowd attention. It only takes 150 people to make it happen, and in the grand scheme of things, that's not that many. And that's less than it's like half the people who are subscribed to this channel. So I don't know. Your choice, guys. It'd be cool if we manage to do it. We'll make a celebration video when it reaches the threshold. But okay. Otherwise, guys, have a good weekend. Have a good day. We're gonna get back to the Dark Valley. I'll probably be able to do turn 7. It probably won't be until next weekend or later this week. It's just hard to get time, but we'll see what we can do. So, all right. Take care, guys. We'll see you later.